her ex-boyfriend has been coming around saying, oh, that's my kid.
When he comes over, why don't you say, no, I'm not gonna let you in?
I've tried that.
What do you mean try? You don't open the door. Goodbye.
I didn't know who the father was.
Who does she believe is the father?
She is torn between the two of us.
She came back and told me I was going to be grandma.
And she says Ryan's the father?
Yes.
The parties involved with taking the DNA test. You love that little boy?
Yes, sir.
You believe he's your son?
Yes, sir.
Why don't you let the poor guy know he's not the father?
He should have done the calculations himself.
You said you're going to be a grandma. Here's the sonogram pictures, right?
Right.
Are you just accepting gifts and using her?
She's just a friend.
She's a friend that believes she's the grandmother of your child. Do you work?
No.
Travis working?
No, not right now.
Who pays for this child? With what money? Could it be the money that Bernice gives you?
Yes, I try to help her out as much as I can.
You like this confusion because grandma's giving you a lot of nice things, right?
Talking like you the whole time.
He comes over all the time. Maybe it's the fact that he believes he has a son.
I've tried to tell
You tried. My ass, you tried. Welcome to the show. My first guest is Travis. Travis, why are you here?
Steve, I'm here today because me and my wife have a child together that's almost a year old. And ever since my son's been born, her ex-boyfriend has been coming around saying, oh, that's my kid, it's this, it's that, making him call him dad right in front of me in my own house, and I am just tired of it.
Wait a second. How is that even happening?
Well, see, whenever she broke up with him, just shortly after she broke up with him, it was probably a month and a half, she got with me. We got married, and then he decided that because she was pregnant.
I want to stop you for a second. I don't mean
Right.
to interrupt. But you knew her for a month and you got married?
Right. Well, we've actually known each other for a long time.
Okay, so you were friends.
Yeah, right. We've known each other for years. And in March, we found out she was pregnant. And it wasn't very far along. It was, right before the wedding we found out. And now, ever since then, it's been like, pure hell with this
But
guy.
what I don't get is, okay, she breaks up with him.
Right.
She marries you.
Right.
You have a baby. Like, if I came home and some guy was making my son call him daddy, I know what I would do.
Well, and I've thought about that, and truthfully, man,
First of all, how does he even get through your door?
Because I'm a nice guy, Steve. I don't, she's friends with his mom, and I try to keep a good relationship between them two.
There's being nice, and there's like, you got no business being in my house or coming around my family. I certainly wouldn't let one of my wife's ex-boyfriends come and hang around the house and tell my son, I'm daddy. Why don't you say, no, I'm not going to let you in?
I've tried that, and he doesn't listen.
What do you mean try? You don't open the door. Goodbye. Who's there? Ryan, goodbye.
He just won't listen. He doesn't get it through. He doesn't get it through his head. That
Well,
it's
then
not
maybe you
his
got to
kid.
put it through his head. So why are you here today?
Because I want to get hardcore evidence showing that he is not the father. That way I have reasons to tell him to kick rocks and get on down the road.
Do you have doubt that it might not be your child?
At the first of the pregnancy, I did actually have a doubt. That's why another reason I've kind of, been cool about it. But, after we spoke with the doctors, after we kind of talked it over with each other, we realized that it's not his. And I know in my heart.
How did you come to that conclusion?
Because they have a little, I don't know what it's called, it's a little wheel that you can do at the doctors to show conception date and all that. We actually sat down with one of those and looked it up, and there's just no way it's his.
Did Lori, your wife, ever tell you it might not be, you might not be the father?
She did tell me that in the beginning. There's a chance, and I was cool with that. I was like, okay, even if it's not, I'm still going to take care of him. He's my child no matter what.
But Ryan's under impression that he thinks that this is his child.
He's got it drilled into his head, yes.
Is he involved in the baby's life?
In and out. He brings him things, but then I'll hear him talking to his brother and say, oh, I jacked that from this store or that store or whatever. He's bringing him stolen property, man. This guy is,
you know,
he's something, man.
Well, again, I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but if the guy's coming over, you don't want him in the house, you say he's not the father, and he's bringing stolen property along.
Right.
At what point do you say, I'm not letting this guy in my house?
I've tried. I really have, Steve. I really have.
All right.
I know that sounds
I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and say that you tried.
Stupid, and I'm sorry, but
it just
I've
seems,
tried.
it sounds a little crazy.
Well, and that's the thing also, Steve. Every time he comes around, he's always, he'll catch just out of my earshot and he'll tell her, oh, well, if you were with me, this and that. But she wouldn't tell me these things until after he would leave. He's over here, leaning over there, doing this and doing that.
He comes over. Mm-hmm. You don't want him there.
Right.
He brings stolen goods to your house, you say. Mm-hmm. And he tries to keep whispering in your wife's ear and try to get him to go back with her.
Right.
He says to get her to go back with him.
Right.
Okay, and you keep letting this guy in your house.
Right.
All right. Did you guys move because of him?
Yeah, we actually did. We moved we were living in an apartment just a town over, and they were coming over all the time. Well, we got us a house, an actual house, and we didn't tell them where we were at, didn't tell them our phone number, nothing like that. We were there probably a month, and we get a knock on the door at 10 o'clock in the morning. It's his mom, him, his sister, everybody. Just, surprise, we're here.
And they're doing this because their belief is that
it's actually his kid.
And Bernice thinks it's her grandchild.
Right.
And is she bringing things over to the child?
She has helped us out when we've been in a tight spot. She's brought us diapers when we need them, or whatever. And that's why I respect her. I don't have any problems with his mother whatsoever. I never have.
Because she's bringing things.
That's the only part about her that really gets to me, is the fact that she doesn't say something to him when he starts saying, I'm daddy, I'm this.
Who does she believe is the father?
She is torn between the two of us, honestly, I think.
She's torn between you and her son?
Right, but she is truly believing that it's him.
If you find out today that you're not the true biological father,
right,
is that going to make a difference?
It won't make a difference in the way I treat him, no.
Will it make a difference the way you act towards Ryan?
It would probably be a little bit harder of a relationship between me and him.
How about you and your wife?
I don't think it would cause us any problems.
So you'd be totally fine. You would have no resentment towards your wife or anything?
No, I mean, because it happened before me and her got together. I mean, that's something I had no control over.
Let me ask you a question. When she was with Ryan, was she ever with you?
She cheated on me with him, or on him with me, I'm sorry. On him with me, yeah.
And why did you do that?
Just because she was telling me how sorry he was treating her. She would tell me stories about how he held a knife to her throat, and he would do all
Okay, stop. She told you stories that he held a knife to her throat.
Right.
And why are you letting this guy in your house? Who's... If this guy put a knife to her throat, this is a guy that you're allowing to be around your child? Somebody that put a knife to your wife's throat, and you're being Mr. Nice Guy? Come on now.
She came back and told me I was going to be grandma.
And she says Ryan's the father?
Yes.
The parties involved have taken a DNA test. He comes over all the time. Maybe it's the fact that he believes he has a son. You know what I think you are? A user. A user. I'm going to ask you to leave the stage, Travis, and I'm going to bring out Bernice, who's Ryan's mother, who could possibly be the grandmother to this child.
Right.
I'm going to talk to her a little bit, and I'll bring you out at some point.
Okay.
Let's bring out Bernice. How you doing, Bernice?
Pretty good. Could be better.
Yeah. Have a seat. Do you believe this child is your grandchild?
I've been led to believe it, yes.
I'm just asking, like, in your heart, do you believe it?
Yes, I do.
And you said you've been led to believe this by who?
By Lori.
By Lori. And what has she told you about the baby? How you could possibly be the grandmother?
Well, she dated my son, Ryan. She left to go to a funeral with her half-sister. She messed around on Ryan, came back, was home at my son's for about a week, took off, got married, come back a week or two later.
Did that shock you that here she's dating your son and then, like, boom, a month later she's married?
Well, I think it had a lot to do with I wouldn't allow Ryan to marry her. She was 19 years of age. My son was 17, and she couldn't wait till he was 18. Too bad.
And what did she say to that?
That it was all fine.
What did Lori tell you to make you believe that this is your grandson?
Well, she came back with her mom and a couple others to my house and brought a sonogram and told me I was going to be grandma.
And who was she with at this time? I mean,
She had married Travis
any explanation why she would do that?
because
She really believes
she
that Ryan's
believed
the
that
father?
Colton was my grandson.
What have you done for this baby?
I've done everything I can for him. I've even tried to take and split what I have for my kids to help them too.
And I understand that you got laid off and you're still helping this baby.
Yes.
And now you're aware that it might not even be your son's child.
Yeah, within the last month or so.
And you've still even helped then.
Yes.
That's pretty giving of you. Now, before the show, the parties involved have taken a DNA test, and we'll have 100%, proof whether who's the father. If you find out it's not your son's son, how are you going to feel?
Towards the child, I'll still love the child no matter what. Towards the other parties involved, I'm not sure right now.
That's fair. How are your personal feelings towards Lori?
I love Lori like she's one of my daughters.
That's unusual to hear.
Well, she dated my son for over a year.
Travis tells a story about your son putting a knife to Lori's throat.
Never happened.
How do you know that it never happened?
Because my son's not a violent person.
You've never seen him act in a violent manner?
No, I've seen him explode and he takes off out the door and walks.
Okay. Is it possible that Lori told you this because you seem like a very nice woman, a very giving woman, that maybe she's stringing you along so that you keep giving them things, that you are very generous? Maybe she told you that?
I'm starting to feel used. Yes, I am. After some of the things I've heard, yes, I feel very used.
I mean, knowing the things that you know, is this a woman you'd want your son to be with?
No.
Now, knowing everything you know.
Knowing everything, no.
Have you ever asked Lori, since this all come about, if it's your son's son?
She doesn't know. That's what she tells me. I don't know.
You bought clothes for them, shoes, formula, diapers. You've given them money, supported them, and you've given them food. And
I felt sorry for Lori.
And why is that?
Because she's been through a lot of things, and her and Ryan seem to really love each other.
All right, so Bernice, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to ask you to leave. I'm going to talk to Lori, and eventually we're going to have everybody back on the stage, and you're going to find out whether it's your grandchild or not, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Are you just accepting gifts and using her?
She's just a friend.
She's a friend that believes she's the grandmother of your child. Why don't you let the poor guy know he's not the father?
He should have done the calculations himself.
So the results of the DNA test. The DNA results is that How you doing, Lori?
Good.
I'll just ask you a simple question.
Okay.
Do you know who the father
Yes.
of your son is?
Yes,
And
Travis.
is it possible that Ryan could be the father of this child?
No way.
And why is that?
Because whenever I broke up with Ryan, I left him in January. And then February is whenever I moved in with Travis. And then after that, I found I was pregnant and I had conceived him around the 16th or the 17th, they said, of March.
Okay, so you're positive that this is Travis's child.
Right.
In your mind, you're 100% positive.
Yes.
Did you ever go tell Ryan, I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but you are not the father
No,
of this
I
child?
did not.
Why?
Because his family would be mad at me.
This is a child's life we're talking about.
Right.
And doesn't he deserve the right to know that he's not the father of this child if you believe that?
Even if I told him, he wouldn't even listen to me.
But you never even gave him a chance to tell him. You didn't even tell him. And you told Bernice that she's going to be the grandma, right?
Yes, I told her she can be the grandmother.
But you said you're going to be a grandma. Here's the sonogram pictures, right?
Right, because I want her to be in his life. I don't want him to be in his life. She is like my best friend.
Here's a woman that believes that this is her son's child. She believes it's her grandchild.
No,
I just talked to the woman. I'm not lying to you.
I know.
There's
but-
a reason why you're all here on the show, right?
Right.
Because people are confused about who the real father is.
Right.
And why is there confusion? Because you're not speaking up and saying, you know, I got to tell you, I met your husband and I'm not impressed. That's not to be an insult, but any man, now, did you ever tell him that Ryan put a knife to your throat?
Yes, I did.
And did Ryan put a knife to your throat?
Yes, he did.
And why did he put a knife to your throat?
He was playing around, he said.
Did you think he was playing around?
I was scared.
And what was he saying to you when that knife was pressed against your throat?
He didn't say nothing. I was in there washing dishes, and then, because I had to wash them because we was cleaning my house, and he came in there, he was playing around, and then he had the knife at my throat and just playing around. I said, don't play like that.
So I got to ask you this then. If you know that this is a man that you felt put a knife to your throat, you told Travis that he was abusive to you, right?
Right.
Why are you allowing this man to be around you and to be involved in your marriage? Travis says he whispers things into your ears trying to
Yes.
get you back.
Right.
Is that true?
Yes.
Then why would you do that? Why would you keep letting this man in your house if one... If you know Ryan's not the father, he was abusive to you, and he's still trying to get you back in your own house with your husband there, that's not showing your husband a lot of respect, is it?
No.
Well, then why do you two of you continue to allow this guy in your house?
Because I can't be rude to people. I'm not
Oh,
like that.
come on. Being rude? Being rude is him coming over to your house if he's not the father. I could be wrong, but I almost get the feeling that you like this confusion because Grandma's giving you a lot of nice things, right? She's giving you... She's been very generous. Your son, she's given your son, she's given you and Travis a handout. Maybe you're using her for material
She
things.
brings the stuff over.
Of course, I know that. I just said that.
I didn't even ask her to bring nothing over.
And it's kind of nice when she's coming over, right? It's like Santa coming with
She visits me without bringing anything over.
You've been letting this man believe that he's the father of your child. You let Bernice bring you things over. So, yeah, tell me the truth. Am I right? Are you just accepting gifts and using her?
No, I'm not using her.
You're not using her. What would you call it?
She's just a friend
She's
that
a
I
f-
wanted to keep a friend.
She's a friend that believes she's the grandmother of your child.
She just wants a grandchild. That's what she wants.
Don't you think you owe it to her to say you're really not the grandmother, but you can be if you want to be?
She told me she don't care if this baby is hers or not.
But
She's
shouldn't
gonna be
she
my
know the
friend.
truth?
Yes. That's why we're here, so we can tell her the truth.
But you don't know the truth. So how can you
I
tell her
know the truth, and my husband is the dad.
Why haven't you told Ryan yet then?
I don't know.
You're letting a man believe that he has a child. And you're saying you know that he's not the father. Do you like the drama? Do you like the two men fighting over you?
No,
Then why don't you put a stop to it?
I don't know.
If you don't have a reason, stand your butt up. Do you still love Ryan?
No.
Do you have feelings for him?
I feel bad for him. I love my husband.
Why do you feel bad for Ryan?
For the crap that he's going through. He's putting
You're
himself
putting him
in.
through it. That's it. You're putting him through it. If you feel bad for him for what he's going through, why don't you stop it? Why don't you let the poor guy know he's not the father?
He should have done the calculations himself.
How could you make me and Ryan believe that that's a possibility of you being my grandson and to bring us on national TV and say no chance?
Neither one of you ever thought, gee, we should really tell Ryan he's not the father. Both of you are amazed and wondering why we just can't get this guy out of our house. Well, gee, I wonder why. So then I gotta say, here's Bernice, your good friend. Her son's, not even 18 years old yet. You get pregnant, you cheat on him, you marry another guy within weeks of breaking up with him, and she's laid off. She loses her job. She doesn't have much money to begin with. She's coming over and she's brought shoes and diapers and food and is giving you money and everything else. That's a good friend. You're taking from her while you let her son believe that he's the father of the baby. That's how you treat your good friends?
No.
Well, you know what? Before we get to these DNA results, I think Bernice deserves some answers. And you need to face her and tell her what you did. Let's bring Bernice up. Anything you want to tell Bernice?
Nothing.
No. I think you better start talking, Missy.
Lori, how could you do it? How could you make me and Ryan believe that that's a possibility of you being my grandson and to bring us on national TV and say no chance?
She's your good friend.
You knew at the beginning.
I knew at the beginning there was a chance that it was Travis's or Ryan's. That there was a possibility of either one.
Right.
Have I not been there and tried to help you as much as I could with that child?
Yes.
Have I not treated you as one of my own children?
Yes.
Then don't you think that you owed me the respect enough to tell me instead of having Travis call this show and stuff and bring us on national TV?
Speak up.
Sorry.
You're sorry.
And the stuff that's been said about Ryan, I am totally appalled about it. I am irate. That's my child, just like I would defend Colton.
You know that your child smokes weed, alcohol, and stuff like that,
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Lori Dawn, and you ain't never done nothing wrong.
too? I know I done did it.
So you want to come on national TV and run my son down?
No, I'm not running.
Yes,
down.
you are.
So what was the purpose of just telling her that right now? What was the purpose of that?
Yeah, you had done that to humiliate my child. I can guarantee you that if Colton is Ryan's, I will be at my lawyer when we land in Tulsa. Whatever. We'll see whatever.
Do you think you're fit to be a mother?
I know I'm a good mother.
What about when we pulled up in the car when you guys was going to go get the DNA? I come in the house. We all come in the house. You all are in the house. My so-called grandson is sat down in the car by himself. My daughter went up and got him.
And Travis left him, and he was going in to go to the bathroom too. And I went back out there.
After I went to the crib, to pick Colton up, and you guys tell me, oh, he's in the car.
And how old is the baby at this point?
He's 10 months old.
And so 10-month-old left out in the car.
The doors weren't even
You
shut.
ran in, he ran in to use the bathroom, but nobody unstrapped the baby and brought it inside. That's being a fit mother? That's being a fit father? 10 months old? Are you kidding me? I gotta say, I've done shows with real evil people. I don't think you're evil, but you know what I think you are? A user. A user, and you're one of these petty people that wants to be in the center of all this attention. I think you like two men fighting over you because you don't put a stop to it. And you're disrespectful to this guy that married you. I don't think much of him anyways, because I think if he's a man, he puts a stop to it. And if I married your ass, I'd put a stop to it. How selfish are you? How selfish are you to let this situation go on as long as it has? Neither one of you, the two of you together, your husband Travis and you, ever thought, gee, we really should tell this young guy, we should really tell Ryan he's not the father. Both of you are amazed and wondering why we just can't get this guy out of our house. He comes over all the time. He's bothering us, Steve. Well, gee, I wonder why. But the big deal here is you lead a man to believe that it's his child. Neither one of you grown adults have the tell this young man that it's not his son.
I've tried to tell
You
him.
tried. My ass, you tried. Do you work?
No.
Who pays for this child?
I do.
You do.
Yes.
With what money? With what money? Could it be the money that Bernice gives you?
No.
Oh, so what do you do with the money that Bernice gives you?
I put it with my son.
So you take her money, right? Answer the
Yes.
question. You take Bernice's money, right?
Yes.
And
put
you
it
don't
on my
have to be
son.
currently employed, Bernice?
No, I'm
You
not.
give her money?
Yes, I try to help her out as much as I can.
Travis working?
No, not right now.
Maybe it's me that's supporting this baby. Maybe it's every working person out here that's supporting the baby. I thought I was doing the right thing as a parent. I go out, I take any job I could get as a policeman, side jobs, ended up in TV, work my ass off, try to help people, be there for my kids. And here's the craziest thing about my life. My children actually know who their father is. Wow, isn't that nuts? Wow, there's not another guy coming over. I come home, some guy sitting in my chair. What are you doing here? He's whispering to my wife's ear, hey, baby, come on, let's go upstairs. And I'm guessing the only thing that keeps you from going upstairs is Travis is right there. Because maybe if Travis actually had a job, he'd be in trouble. Anything you want to say to Bernice now?
No.
No? Any more facts about how bad Ryan is?
No.
Let's bring out Travis and Ryan. Ryan, how you doing?
Fine.
Got into a relationship with Lori, right?
Yes, sir.
How long did you date her for?
Almost a year.
Were you good to her?
Yes, I was.
Mom gave you good advice, though. I really don't want you getting married till you're 18.
Yes.
You found out that she was pregnant?
Yes.
Exactly what did she say to you?
She came over to my house and with Travis's best friend and her family and told me, this is your kid on the sonogram, and told my grandma, or my mom, that she's going to be a grandma. So I believed it. I believe her. Up to this point, I still believe her that he's my kid, because every time that I'm around her, she says, this is your kid. But now that he calls the show, she wants to say she had a miscarriage.
What?
She told us that she had a miscarriage a week before she
I
got pregnant
might
with
have
Colton.
had a miscarriage.
Did the doctor ever tell you you had a miscarriage?
No,
Okay. So, and why did we make up this story?
I didn't make it up.
You didn't make it up. I could see you're real threatened here, right?
Not really.
You know, you should be ashamed of yourself. You really should. You don't work, so you're a bum. You marry her, who's deceitful, and both of you are deceitful. You know what, young people, you know what, they sleep around. I'm not going to come down hard on it, because you know what, you're young and you're dumb, and that's what young and dumb people do. You do that. No big deal. But the big deal here is you lead a man to believe that it's his child. Neither one of you grown adults have the tell this young man that it's not his son.
I've tried to tell
You
him.
tried. My ass, you tried. Let me guess. Ryan's in my living room. You know what? I hate to break you the news, but you're not the dad. That's really hard, huh? That's tough. You two laying around, not working, letting other people believe it's their kid so that grandma will come over and bring you some nice things. Maybe bring you some food, huh? Or some money, or things for your baby. It's real easy to let other people provide for your children so you don't have to work.
I've only been unemployed for about a week or two.
Only about a week or two.
Right. I was
And
working plumb up till then.
Oh, yeah. And had enough time to sleep with her.
Well, I was working 12, 13-hour days, and she was working there with me. We were working at the same place.
And why can't you tell Ryan it's not his son?
I just haven't done it. I mean, we've tried to tell him, and he won't listen.
You tried to tell him.
Right.
They ever try to tell you?
No, sir.
Up until a month ago, she didn't know whose child it was.
I do believe he's scared of me. Scared to tell me that I'm not the father.
Well, I'm sure he's scared. There's got to be a reason why. I know her reason why, because she's just lazy and a liar. Are you mad at me for calling your wife that?
Nope, it's your show.
You got a real stand-up husband there. I don't know why somebody called my wife a liar. I'd probably be really mad. Poor guy's coming over to the house. Yeah, it's really hard to say. Guess what? You're not the father. Maybe it's, oh, sorry, Bernice. You're unemployed. No, we can't take it from you because we're liars and we're lazy. And I have no ethics whatsoever. So the results of the DNA test. The DNA results. You know what? I got it. I'll admit, here, on national TV, when I was 19, 20, 21, I did a lot of stupid things. I did. Got drunk, got in fights, did all kind of crazy stuff. But one thing I didn't do, and I knew not to do, was bring children into the world when I was not committed to somebody. Didn't bring any kids into the world. And I certainly didn't lie to another man or not tell another man it's not his child. You're going to tell me that this guy is in your house trying to get at your wife with you there? And you don't know how to put a stop to it? You got to be kidding me. Ryan, you believe that little boy is your son, right?
Yes, sir.
You love that little boy?
Yes, sir.
You believe he's your son?
Yes, sir. I work my ass off to help them out.
Oh, wait a second. You work?
Yes, I do.
And you give money to who?
Them. I'm giving them money, but I've given my mom money to give them.
Is that true, Bernice?
Yes, I have told him that this is from Ryan.
Is that true?
Wait a minute, Steve. Hold on.
No, wait a minute. You don't get to say wait a minute.
The only time they've ever given us money was $20 to go get the kids ice cream. That was what they told us.
Bernice, you might want to say something.
Travis, you know it's a damn lie.
That's the only time you've ever handed me money.
Or maybe she gave it to her.
No, she has not
What
given
about-
me money.
Okay, just whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
You're lying through the whole
Okay.
damn thing
Bernice,
anyway.
have you given more money than that?
Yes, I have.
You know what? I'm just going to take her word.
I bought that kid a $100 pair of shoes.
So the results of the DNA test. I honestly don't know what the results are. Somebody on this stage knows, but now we're all going to know. I honestly don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. The DNA results is that Travis is the father.
Thank God. That's all I
Told
need to
you.
know.
You didn't know that, Travis. So
I
don't-
told
Dude,
Hold on a
like
second.
that.
Hold on a
I
second.
did.
You told them.
I have been telling
You've been
them.
sitting up for all this time. I couldn't tell them. I didn't know how to tell them. I couldn't get them out of my house. You know what? You two lazy, disgusting. Get off my stage. I'm gonna ask you first, Bernice. What is your reaction to that? Why? Well, hold on a second. What hurts you the most right now?
I've been lied to the whole time. I feel used. I feel like I've been brought here and humiliated.
Well, you know what?
My son tried to
you know what?
humiliate my son.
You two aren't humiliated here. They humiliated themselves. And you know what? At least now you know the truth. How do you feel about this?
I feel like I'm been used. I've done everything I could for that kid before.
But you know what? You know what? The thing is, we all make mistakes, and you're a stand-up guy. And at 19 years old, you're a stand-up guy because you were told that that was your child, and you put the child before yourself, something that Travis didn't even do. And I'm not going to tell you not to give money to this child because you said you love this child no matter what, and you probably even still love this child, even though it's not yours. But you know what? Those are two healthy people, and you shouldn't take away from your own family when they've done nothing but lie to you and be deceitful and be disrespectful to the two of you. I wouldn't do anything for them. And the sad fact of it is, by getting to the bottom of the truth, they've gotten a free trip to Chicago. I bought them meals. They got to stay in a hotel room last night. They've gotten more than they deserve. They really. But the only good thing is, I did a good thing today because I gave you the truth.
I appreciate that.
And you know what, young man? You dodged a bullet. You dodged a bullet named Lori. Because let me tell you something right now. That's not the kind of woman you want to end up with.
No.
I got to ask the both of you. Do you feel better knowing the truth now?
Yeah, I do.
I do. I feel a lot better. There's a lot of heat off my chest now.
Well, I'm glad. Good luck to you. I'm glad you got to know. I'm sorry, Denise. Good luck to you. All right? You okay? You find somebody? You find somebody good for your son. Let's go.